The first live of MedFreeIndia. Okay, hi Rashmi. People, if you are able to hear me and if I'm audible clearly, please send a thumbs up or just write it in the comments that you are able to hear me. Hi Rashmi, can you hear me properly? And Dr. Amisha, please send me an invite here that you want to be on the videos, please. Hello everyone, hello all able to hear me. Okay, great. So great. So I'm just waiting for Dr. Amisha. So today's topic is very general, but today is a World Homeopathic Day. So we want to create an awareness about this thing that you can go medicine free. Once we talk about medicine free, we are talking about. Thank you, Maddie, for telling me this. So we are actually talking about that the over usage of allopathy. So we are not against allopathy at all, the over usage of allopathy. So today we are taking up some topics with Dr. Amisha. She'll be joining here in a minute, and then we will be asking Dr. Amisha, who is an homeopath and she has an experience of good 23 years in homeopathic field, and we will hear from her from some main topics like what are the symptoms of longevity, why our children are falling sick, and we are open that you can ask any questions relevant to today's talk in the comment and we will be answering. So she will be joining in a minute, but I will still tell you what are the topics we would be covering so you can come up with the questions which you are looking for. So today's topic would be a common health issue across all age groups. Specifically, why we are mentioning all age group is because we think that I'm just in 20s, I don't need a blood checkup, I don't need to see what my sugar levels are, I don't want to see what my cholesterol levels are and stuff like that, and that leads to an onset of disease. Okay, just a second, let me accept. Now, will this live be saved? Let's see, we will try to save this live, but I would really yes, I'm accepting her invite, but I don't know whether she's getting it. So Dr. Amisha, if you will get an acceptance on your page that I have accepted it, go live, share your video or something like that, it will come. Please click on that. Are you able to join us? I have already accepted your request. I don't have it, Rashmi, so you have to call her once, please. I'm just doing this live from my phone. And unfortunately, I have only one external organ like phone. I don't have another one. So, Dr. Amisha, you will get an invite on your screen right now that I've accepted. Go live with Manisha or Meds Free. You can just click on that. You will be able to access this. Don't worry, guys. She'll be doing it. I think she's doing the live. I think she's a very busy doctor. Very busy doctor. So she would be joining us in a minute. Hi, Nina, and thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, you can definitely put up in the chat box. I will be telling you more about the topic so that you can have your questions ready for Dr. Amisha. Rashmi, he's also on a call, so he won't be able to pick. You can just message me. Great. I will invite uh, Dr. Amisha again. I will just, Dr. Amisha, I have already invited you. I have invited you once again. Please accept the invite, please. So today's topic which we are covering is common health issues across all age group. So whatever your age group is, or if you have children specifically, that is going to be very, very important, because what we have seen is that the children these days are falling sick very often, specifically my child. And I know that, that is a pain point for all the parents. So if you have a toddler or somebody you want that they should make your immunity, we will be taking care of that as well. uh, we will also understand the allopathic role and its long term usage effect. So I'll just tell you one quick thing. I just met somebody in a clinic today who was just 34 years old and was already on a BP medication and a thyroid medication and a metformin. So, the long term use of this is going to get you a lot of damage to your kidneys and liver. And that Dr. Amisha will definitely talk about. Another thing which she is going to talk about is warning signs which you should never ignore, be it whatever your age is. So I'm trying to accept. I'm getting an option that she's not able to join. Dr. Amisha, please be on a Wi-Fi. Hi, Rashmi, you are able to join, right? Okay, I have accepted Dr. Amisha's request once again. Sorry, guys, we have, I think, some Wi-Fi issue at Dr. Amisha's place. Oh, hi, Dr. Amisha.
Hello, hi, sorry, joined in a bit late.
That's
Yes, please tell me. Yeah, hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, Rashmi. Yes.
great. So, Rashmi, you keep yourself on mute, please. Okay. Yes. So, welcome a lot on Meds Free page today, Dr. Amisha. Thank you so much that you have taken out time from your busy schedule today. Uh, so, without we waste so much time, I want to put up the first question, which is a viewer's question. Now, the viewer's question is that how, tell us about the immunity, how we can build up immunity in children specifically.
Yeah, so basically, we get a lot of small infants and children with repeated cold, cough problem, also with atopic dermatitis. So these are all genetically inclined illnesses. So either of the parents, they may be having it, or some chronic illness which comes in the form of cold allergy or skin allergy. You must have seen small children coming up with itching on the, say, the elbow bends or the knee bends. So these are the places the skin itching would come up, and cold allergies. So this is how, like, by giving constitutional medicines and homeopathy, we can help raise the immunity of the altered patient, meaning the child. And then once we start giving medicines, we just help them to go through the illness, and so that we don't have to give them too much of allopathic medicines. Yeah. So this is how.
Yes, I think because all the parents, like that includes me also, I think we are fed up of giving antibiotics to our children. And
Yes.
because whenever you go to an allopathic doctor, uh, instead of making an immunity better, they talk about, they give us a direct dose of antibiotic for 3 days and 5 days and 7 days. And
Yes.
the child is stuck in that loop. We are always stuck in that loop.
Yes, yeah. So the theme is basically the children are going to fall sick because they are exposed to surroundings. So
Oh,
you put them into a play school, so there's a AC, so there are going to be children around. So they have to learn how to adapt to the surroundings. Some children are very easy to adapt, they're no problem. But some children you will find that they repeatedly fall sick. you know could be anything. I'm just talking about cold allergies and the skin allergies, which are seen very common. You can have digestive problems also because of the
right.
food. you know so basically we have to help the child through this process of adapting to the surroundings by giving constitutional medicines, and homeopathic medicines can be given to the age group of, say, 1 month also.
Okay.
So looking at the history of the parents, or by looking at the child and how the case has been presented, we can definitely help.
Oh, great. So I have another question for you where what do you think is the role of balanced eating from the children starting from the age of 1.5 like that once they start eating solid food properly? What do you
Yeah.
think? What is the importance of that nutrition so that they build up their immunity better?
See, basically, the foods are very normal what we give the child, but we have to be very careful in starting anything new because they would react to it. But if you find that they are overreacting, say there's itching coming up, or the cold is coming up, or the eyes is getting red, so we have to basically be slow in introducing the food. But the normal, you can say rice or normal, say banana, as we begin, small children, and then slowly and steadily we have to start giving them food what we are eating, maybe once they reach to 2.5 years or 2 years of age also, then we can introduce whatever we are eating. But when the first time, say when they are, say, 12 months, or say little more higher age, maybe, so 1.2 years or so, then slowly we have to bring up things to check upon their immunity. Never be very fast, especially with the milk type also what you are introducing.
Great. So I have another question which our viewer has asked us that how has the overall lifestyle changed? Because there is a shift of lifestyle change in our lives. We are very sedentary nowadays. Like if we talk about me and you also, who sits in the clinics, we have a sedentary lifestyle at the end of the day. So what do you think that how that it affects our health? Maybe the job, whatever kind of jobs we are doing, because I think most of our viewers have a proper job, or even if we see a mother who is there at home, she has to sit with the child and make them study and do all that kind of a stuff, and we are going towards a sedentary lifestyle any which ways, and a quality of food has also been degraded, of course.
Yes.
Cosmetics, we use a lot of cosmetics, color cosmetics and stuff, and we cannot ignore the pollution. So what do you think that how a person can improve their lifestyle change and stuff?
Yes, see, basically because of our work profession or because of the screen time, most of the time we are sedentary, you know, and because of the pollution in urban areas, because of the pollution, we are more prone to all infections and all that. So the diet is very, very important one. And secondly, is to stop the oxidative process. When we say the oxidative process, we mean that you need to have an antioxidative diet. Now, an antioxidative diet especially includes a lot of green leafy vegetables, anything which has got good color, would definitely help. Now, coming to the oxygenation of the lungs, which is very important. So, when you have a good oxygenation, say when you do pranayam and all, so each and every organ of your body begins to breathe so that they don't get oxidized. It's like how the rusting of the iron takes place, or the silver gets dark when you're exposed to the open
Yes.
environment. Similarly, there are free radicals in the system. So whenever you are not doing any physical activity or not exposed to the sunlight or to the good oxygen levels are not good in the environment, or you're eating the wrong type of food, say processed food, or application of cosmetic, as you rightly mentioned. So all these adds to the free radicals in the system. To neutralize these free radicals, it's better that we be active, like go for walks early morning, do the proper pranayam, so that the real oxygen gets to the base of the lungs, which really helps in the process of deoxidation. So this is how you can help. These are the general measures. And of course, the immunity is too much compromised because of the genetic inheritance or something, then definitely there are good homeopathic medicines which cover the tendencies of the person.
Oh wow.
Tendencies meaning what you are vulnerable to. So if you have tendency to cold and cough, or you have tendency to stomach complaints, so after all these good changes in the lifestyle and say everything which I just mentioned, apart from that, still if you are feeling that you are suffering, then definitely you need a backup therapy or immunity boosting medicines, so that we can minimize your tendencies. We cannot
Wow.
completely abort your tendencies, but we can minimize, so that we can unwind the process, the disease process, right?
Wow. So the real good thing and the value people can take today from you is the deoxidation of your body. It's a real big term which is actually true. It is not like it's a made up and a biological term or something theoretically we talk about. This is what is actually happening. And if viewers want to know that what is it, I'll just tell you a small example that the wrinkles on your face, the what else? I think the fatigue, the super fatigue, what we get, or any
Yes.
osteoporosis in your bones,
Correct.
all these things are caused by free radicals in the body, and specifically, it comes up to your skin so fast. So, if you
Correct.
really need a good skin, you really need to work on that. So, we
Correct.
have another question for you, Dr. Amisha, that how curing symptoms with allopathy cannot be sustainable in a long term. Like I was telling my viewers today that I met somebody in my clinic who was just 34-year old, and she was on a BP medication from last 4 years. So like when she was 30, and she's on metformin from last 13, 14 years because she's a PCOD client. And one more medication she told me. So like it was like 3, 4 medication at one go of
Right.
allopathy. How
Right.
does it affect your liver and kidney in the longer term?
See, there are certain life-saving medicines like the antihypertensive drugs. We don't would like to interfere with that,
Yes.
right? But specifically, when you talk about autoimmune problems, say osteoarthritis or sarcoidosis, or there are many illnesses like lichen planus, where the general allopathic medicines don't work, so they turn to steroids. So now that's the problem, right? So they try and suppress the immunity so that your hypersensitivity reactions are made dormant. But over a period of time, you would find that these steroids, whenever they are given for long duration of time, they definitely have an effect upon the liver, the SGOT, SGPT, even the kidney filtration, the GFR gets affected. So
Right.
we have to be very careful upon what is being prescribed. If it is essential, we cannot withdraw. To be very frank, let me be very open. People need to know what's important and what is not important in allopathy. The
Right.
list of medicines that they put up, say for acidity, for
Yeah.
headaches and for, say anti-inflammatory medicines for pain and all that, it's really not required many a times. You just
True.
get
So I think,
medication.
yeah. So most of the people who were the young age people who are like in their 20s and 30s right now, I have seen that they pop Dolo like a candy. Dolo 650 like a
Yes,
candy.
yes, yes,
So,
yes. So in fact, after COVID, there's been a trend. अरे कुछ हो गया तो let's take up a Dolo
right.
650. Like it's not needed. Even if say okay, paracetamol is considered to be a safe drug. Fine, it's okay. You can take once in a while. But what happens is over the counter, people just take up medicines,
Right.
right? So there was once upon a time there's too much of Zintac, that is the anti-acidity
Yes.
drug which was being prescribed and taken, and even nice. So that was for it had so much of side effects upon the liver. So you have to be very careful with the prescription and self prescriptions also. Correct.
True.
So I would like basically would mention that post COVID vaccinations also, or the post steroidal treatment, when ASI and all those stuff was being given and not working, and out of fear people were using so much of steroids, even doctors, you know but people have had so much of side effects that after till now, we get patients with lichen planus, post vaccination, post medicines. Now all of these autoimmune problems,
Right.
they surface when you take vaccinations also. So if the vaccination is needed, kindly give those vaccinations. Don't give chicken pox bhi de diya, sab de diya. It doesn't give you immunity. Chicken pox, if your immunity is down and the virus is very potent, the viral load is very high, you are bound to get chicken pox, come what may.
Right.
So only the essential vaccination which has been, the government has listed, kindly go for those. Not there's so many vaccination floated in the system by the pharma companies, left, right, I don't know what, but they definitely have lot of side effects. Yeah.
Right.
So
Lot
we
of
have to
side
be,
effects. Great.
yeah, yeah.
So I have one more question because before we invited you, we asked our audience to ask us some questions which we can ask you. Nowadays, people are definitely like I think all our viewers. Yeah. So Rashmi has a question before we go to the next question that the doctors for the children are, but the doctors for children are these vaccinations are prescribed. I think she's meaning to ask that the doctors are prescribing these kind of vaccination for all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
children.
it's okay. Chickenpox is very common. You know, the children are taken to a pediatrician. Normally, they will tell us, "Let's give this." You know, so but we have seen that in spite of taking vaccinations,
Yes,
you know, children succumb. Even at an adulthood age, you know, they come up. So there is a herpes virus, which is like it's the same virus which causes chickenpox as well as herpes zoster. So if your immunity is low, you can get any of the two. So it all depends, it trickles down to your immunity and your environment where you are staying. Say, suppose in an hostel, if a person is having chickenpox and 4 people are there, if your immunity is very poor, it is contagious. You're bound to, you know, get it. So it is the immunity levels which are very important.
great. Yes. So our next question is that um, symptomatically, like people these days who are like just in their 20s, because just after 20, 20, 22, 23, people are getting the job and getting into corporate world and stuff. And we see a lot of them are getting migraine. Okay.
Correct.
So anything for that for migraine, because most of the people I know have migraine issue and they pop pills like anything for this. Do you have any
Yes.
permanent solution in homeopathy for this?
Definitely. Now we need to know what is the cause of migraine. Whether it is acidity, it's fluctuating blood pressure, or it is sleep loss, or is it something to do with your mindset, right?
Oh,
So we have to be very, you know, good in taking case history to understand what is the underlying cause of migraine. So if we get a link as to this is the problem, treat the acidity. If there is sleep loss, we can give medicines for that also. But there are certain conditions where we find nothing. It's just
yeah,
there, you know. Now that is the time that we take into consideration the mental symptoms of the patient. Now
right,
what are the triggers? Is it the suppression of anger? Is it, you know, bad effects of insults? So these are the things which where we score higher because we take into consideration the general makeup of the patient, the physical makeup, the mental makeup, the genetic
wow,
makeup. So that takes care as a constitutional medicine to, you know, as I said, to drop or to reduce the tendencies, to reduce the
wow,
susceptibility towards migraine, and it really works very nice. Yeah. So recently I had a patient who was suffering from tinnitus. So he was a CEO or CFO, I don't know how what they call a chief operating officer, and he was saying, I travel, you know, twice a week everywhere, like, you know, and he's under pressure job, and he got an attack of tinnitus. Now, both his parents are allopathic doctors, wife is ophthalmologist or something. He said, I am sick, I'm just not able to get over my cold allergies, and now I've got this. So, because of the stress, you know, the tinnitus surfaces
wow,
because of the high pressure job or something. Then we sit and talk to the patient as such, what was it, what led to that, you know. So, is there any anticipatory anxiety? So he, you know, whether the patient is in the heightened mode of reaction, right? So they react to smallest possible stimulus. So we give medicines to calm him down, to relax, so that the problem doesn't get to a pathological level. Because it
right,
is still to do with the ringing, it is just a functional problem. Once it gets to the middle ear, where there are pressure changes in the fluid in the semicircular canals, then it gets very, very difficult. It gets to a higher stage. So we have to, you know, take uh, appropriate actions at the right time, right? So that it doesn't proceed. And tinnitus
right,
works, medicines work very well with homeopathy responds very good, you know, meaning tinnitus, we've got very good results.
wow.
So
So this is a big takeaway from you for migraine, because people think migraine is a, a physiological thing, something related to their what do you call that word? I'm not getting it. That's something called with your body and your mind or something. But like you said
yeah,
it very
that's
right.
called
It
as
is
a psychosomatic disorder also
yes,
because it's related to your mind. So any physical symptom where the base is there behind because of your, say stress, that's a psychosomatic
absolutely.
problem.
Yes,
Yes.
so you know this better. And people generally take it like with the allopathic medicine. You get the migraine, they start popping pills of it. So they have to really go deep down to their symptoms and try to find out what is the root cause of that migraine, and they can definitely heal. So all of our viewers, if you have anybody in your family who has migraine attacks, because I know, I think in most of the family, one person I know that they get migraine attacks and the day is wasted, or maybe 2 3 days goes like that because they have so much pain. So please share this with them. Then if they treat their symptom, they can definitely meet Dr. Ramesha. They can call them and fix an appointment and get your root cause done. Of course, Harpreet. So I have another question for you, Dr. Ramesha. That what do you think that if people start addressing their deficiencies, okay, at the right age, in their
Correct.
20s or in teenagers or in 20s, if they start addressing them at the right age, as simple as a vitamin D deficiency, as simple as a vitamin B, which is so prevalent in India because most of the Indians are pure vegetarians and they don't get enough of vitamin B from the food. What do you
Correct.
think that if they start addressing it, can can this kind of a thing and this process can save them to get any kind of lifestyle diseases later in their life?
Correct. First of all, deficiency of B12 and D3 is again related to the lifestyle errors itself.
Right,
So, because of no exposure to sunlight or sedentary lifestyle, or the GI problems. So, whenever you have too much of stomach upset, digestion upset because of eating outside, the fast food which is there, the
right,
absorption of B12 is a problem, right? So it does not get absorbed by the system at all. There's an intrinsic factor which is produced by the system itself. That intrinsic factor does not get produced because you're not eating the right stuff. So we don't have the absorption of B12. So first we have to improve our lifestyle. So the diet, right? So that's very important, that you should not have symptoms like say indigestion very perpetually. So all that things, gas problem, you have to have your bowels very nice, clean. So the gut health is also very important. Second,
yes,
if the
I,
D3 levels are very, very low, there is no harm in taking supplements to bring it to an optimum level. Because if your D3 is very low, then you would definitely feel that you're not able to perform your duties, or you're not active. And your mind also does not respond that quickly. So that is the effect of D3. And it has been, there's no research, but we have seen that people with low D3 come up with a lot of autoimmune problem also, right?
yes, the
So
new research paper says that
yes,
if you
yes,
fix your vitamin D, your
correct.
autoimmune symptoms also goes down with that.
Yes.
Yes,
So it is very important to supplement. There is no harm in supplementing. That's okay. But how long can you do it? The
right,
problem goes to the assimilation again here.
right,
So the
mm,
formation of the important enzymes which are responsible for conversion and absorption. So that is where we need to have a very good, diet. And again, it trickles down to the same thing: physical activity, so that the machine goes on. What happens when you are sedentary? You're eating all the processed food, so the everything, the system is choked, and initially when you are young, there are no symptoms. Your body is coping up. But
right,
as you age and your good hormones are not in place and the stress takes over, that is the time then when these deficiencies can create a lot of illnesses. So it's very essential to have medical checkups and check even your homocysteine levels, your B12, D3, iron. Many a times the hair fall is because of iron, and we are medicating
right,
ourselves with so many, multiple multivitamins which are not needed. It is the stress on the kidney.
right,
So better, just you can also have a counter check. Okay, fine. I took my iron is low, and I've taken iron medicines, and the corners of the mouth are better, and my hair fall is less. So it was the iron deficiency which was the problem, and not like something else. So we have to retrospect it. And so next time, after a few years, if you have hair fall, take iron tablets. Even if your iron is showing normal, it could be the ferritin levels inside,
ferritin levels. Right.
yeah, which are abnormal. So you have to have a proper checkup and dietitian advice. You must be knowing all everything, so we have to have proper checkups by doctors and by certified dietitians also, and not go according to what the other people say or what you see on the videos or online content, so they highlight always the worst things, and we say, oh, is it, I'm suffering from it, it couldn't be that. So better consult a proper doctor or dietitian before starting any supplements.
Right, like Rashmi rightly said, the social media advice is very easily available also and adopted also, because the moment we see a fancy influencer telling us eat this, eat that, and we randomly start, taking those gummies and all that thing, it can
Yeah.
definitely harm you. So, viewers, if you have any question for Dr. Amisha, she's available right now. Please put up in the chat box. We will be taking once we end the video. Now we have a last question for you, that what is the age group from which people need to start tending to their health seriously, and how the belief that only after 35 years of age or 40 years of age, or once I have a children or any hormonal issue, then only I have to go for any test, or should it start from the age of 14, 15, 16, like that? What do you think?
Yes. So basically, I think we all, we never had, we have classes for moral science. I think we need to have health education in school itself, you know,
Right.
and also as we get into college. So little amount of talk upon health is very important for everybody nowadays, right? Because we are all into, even ourselves, we binge, we eat so much. So we need to, at that age, if children are educated, so they know exactly why they shouldn't be doing it. They need a logical answer. If you just tell them don't do this, they would not listen. Nowadays, children are very aware, right? So if you incorporate things into our syllabus or curriculum itself, it will be a great boon, right? Because you have to be sensitive to your body, the dryness of the skin, the chronic aches, the pains, the menstrual irregularities. We should not ignore all this. Yeah. So a definite medical checkups are also required for people just when they touch 17, 18. It's okay. Nowadays you just you come to hear about certain illnesses where children just drop down because of the hypoglycemia or hypovolemic shock. So they're all basically, one needs to be aware about their sugar levels, and at least if they are educated, if they know about it, so later in life they can work upon it. So
Right.
I think this is very important that all children after the age of 7 and then class 6 or standard 7 and henceforth they should be educated regarding the health concerns,
Right.
right? So that's very important. Yes.
That's really thank you so much, Dr. Amisha, because these are very valuable points which you have touched today, like specifically for the migraine issues. If anybody has migraine, I mean, I have my this thing with migraine because one of my best friend has migraine, and I've seen that how her 3 4 days get spoiled completely the when she gets the migraine attack. So this is something, it was very valuable. Another thing to our viewers which we really want to tell you is, do not go by any random advices what you get on Instagram or YouTube and all other social media. It can be fatal for you. It can be really fatal for you, that वो ये खा के पतली हो रही है तो मैं भी खा लेती हूँ. Maybe you have some other issue which this your food cannot take
Correct.
it. Okay, so
Correct. Correct.
we have one question from Sujata here. Amisha, I'll give you a little background. I will be connecting you with Sujata sometime when you are available. But her son also has the same issue of she's falling sick with the cold and cough only, with the blocked nose and the cough only for quite some time. And we are living in the same apartment, and the same issue is with my daughter as well. So we will definitely connect with you separately. But any basic advice for kids who are picky eaters and poor weight gain? Something for them.
See, basically, again, it trickles down to a deficiency. When children don't eat, the cells are not full, so that cycle doesn't go. So once the cells are complete, then the need for energy will be there and the appetite will be there,
Oh,
right?
my.
So just giving appetite boosters, what we get into allopathy, ye de do, ye tonic de do, it really does not work, right? So we have to give them, like I'm a homeopath, so I will talk about homeopathic medicines where a single dose can actually improve appetite because you have corrected that assimilation error in that child,
All right.
right? So, and certain, say cold cough, because of the cold cough, the tonsils are very much enlarged. So it is like a physical hindrance. There's redness and the children are very cranky and fever issues are there. There's so much of postnasal blockage and so much the children are not able to express. So you can't expect that the appetite to be normal. So they would not put on weight either. So if there is any underlying illness, you need to check upon it, right? So if there's atopic dermatitis or there's a skin rash or there is constant cold cough, nasal blockage, the adenoids are swollen, they're snoring at night, we have to address it, and then eventually as the constitutional medicine goes, the appetite would improve, right? Many a times
Okay.
when parents come that my child does not eat, there's a simple question: if they don't fall sick, if they're eating well, if their school performance is good and they're happy, lively, it's okay. Because everybody's appetite quotient is different. You
Okay.
cannot say that never compare. Yeah. So it
Oh,
depends
that's
upon the
nice.
general health, right? So I think this should help.
Doctor, Dr. Simran wanted to know what can you tell her about acidity and constipation, even though her water consumption is healthy.
Right. So actually, constipation. If you get a little into it, what is constipation? So it's basically when the bowel movements are not synchronized. Now that depends upon your physiology and the nervous system. So water intake along with good fiber diet would definitely help. So if you have say salads just before your lunch or dinner, or if you have fruits before breakfast, so that helps digestion to be easier. Apart from that, acidity concerns. So some amount of HCl is needed for digestion of food. So we advise don't drink water immediately after food because it washes away all the HCl, so that the digestion, all the enzymes, can't work in absence of HCl. So simple things like these advices would definitely help people. Apart from that, after doing all such things, still you are having acidity, constipation, some amount of medical help. Kindly do not get to crimafin and too much of laxatives. We have seen they don't work. Even isabgol becomes a habit over the period of time. So we have to work upon the physiology. Now changing physiology is not easy, but if it is turning into a disease, because if you are constipated, you will not feel fresh. If you are acidic, that constant reflux, your appetite would further go down. So we have antral gastritis. You need medicines. You need help.
Right. And
Medicines which
maybe a
can be
usage
considered.
of a good probiotic that this time it also helps the
Yes,
probiotic
yes,
for
yeah.
that. Yeah. So
So
I'll
you
quickly add one tip for this, Simran. We will have another live about just constipation next week. But still, the viewers, because you've asked this question, I'll give you a small tip. If you have severe constipation, like Dr. Amisha said, you have to go for some kind of a medication for this, because if the poop is sitting in your colon, then it will not go with the water. Water can help you with your current digestion, but if the poop is already hardened and sitting in your large intestine, you need some specific medication for that, which Dr. Amisha can tell you once you contact her personally. So we have another question. Are skin issue related to hygiene or other factors?
see, skin issues, if you ask me, are related to hygiene, would be like, yes, maybe 30% of it could be correct, but 70%, meaning when we see skin diseases, they are related to the skin type. So if you are having dryness, if you are having scaling of the scalp, if you are having scaling of the hands or feet, hmm, or if you are over perspiring, your pores are open, then you are prone for infections, what we call as secondary infections, the bacterial infections, the fungal infections. Your skin immunity has to be very, very good. So if you sense that you are coming up with multiple skin issues, say molluscum contagious, fungal infections, or hair fall or scaling, you need to have certain good amount of medicines. When I say medicines, I don't mean allopathy. Mind you, there is nothing for skin dryness in allopathy. If they're giving you moisturizers for long or something to apply, it's a wrong thing because it is an internal problem. By that again, we will say that we give some constitutional medicine which really helps in what, like basically that your dryness will be better, your metabolism will be better. So it's a holistic approach where we take into consideration the overall makeup of the person, because your skin is like a very important organ of the body, right? and that is the where the the internal disorder can be reflected. So it's very important that your skin health remains good. So always have, pay attention to your skin health. That's very important.
Wow. My biggest takeaway would be you said skin immunity. I'm like, wow. I've never heard this word. Rashmi, have you heard this word before? Skin immunity.
No, but
So
after she said it, it makes so much sense.
yes, it does. And these are so common mistakes what we do. These because we have just accepted it so normally. And these are very common, but these things are very not normal. So thank you very much, Dr. Amisha, for coming live today and taking off your, precious time for us. Thank you
You are
so much.
always
And
welcome.
So,
yeah, and
Yes,
you are
thank you so
our
much
Doctor,
for
first
before
inviting.
we
guest
will
on
meet
MedFree.
again with another interesting topic,
Yeah.
a very maybe focused topic based on what viewers
So
request.
the viewers can pick up the topic here. You can pick up, you can, comment on here that what kind of topics you want to hear from us, and we will be coming every week live, and we will be, talking more about it. It can be constipation, it can be acidity, it can be gut health, it can be clear skin for that matter. I
Can
mean,
be
Dr.
health
Amisha
of
has
the
beautiful
bone,
skin
health
and
of
health
the
of the bone,
bone.
of course. So we have numerous topics. We will definitely put a poll on our stories that what do you want. You can, vote on the polls, and we will have Dr. Amisha very soon with us. So good night, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you a very good night and a
Please stay
healthy
tuned
life ahead.
for
Thank you.
the next live session and interesting conversation.
Yes,
Thank you, everybody.
absolutely.
It was very
So,
nice
Dr.
to
Mishra,
have
you
such
have a
a.
lot of appreciation here. Simran is saying very well explained, doctor. Thank you. We have Heal with SP. She's saying that you are explaining very well, doctor. So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining in and tuning in with MedSpeak. Every week we will come live. So, please join us because we will be providing you the real value. Thank you.
Thanks, Manisha. Thanks, Babu Rashmi. Great
Thank
work.
you. Good night. Bye bye.